But there are also times when I kind of a little bit exhausted and you come to me and then you want to cuddle and I was like, I'm kind of, no, sorry, I cannot. Just go away. I cannot deal with that. You can have my hand or you can have my foot, but my upper body is not available.
Yeah, it's interesting. In that moment, of course, I have that need, and you tell me clearly it's
out of order.
It's not available. But it gives me a very clear sign of where you're at with your energy levels and stress and everything. If I would, have a good day and be in a good state of mind, I would ask you, so what do you need? You seem stressed.
Hello and welcome
to the Heinun Couples Podcast,
where we empower blessed couples
to deepen their love, fostering mutual pleasure, connection, and joy.
So let's dive in.
Welcome back to the Heinun Couples Podcast.
Hey.
And today we want to talk about the 5 love languages from Gary Chapman. And because we did the quiz, we will also link below in the description. We did the quiz like in our matching process, or maybe at the very beginning after the blessing 5 years ago, and we just did it before starting to record the podcast, and it's incredible how much it actually changed. Like, I was really surprised and how it's changed over the time. I thought it was like kind of a fixed thing, something that stays forever, but isn't changing, or at least like minor. But yeah, this 5 love languages is a simple way to notice how we give and receive love, right? And it's not rocket science. It's just like creating awareness on how I really receive love and how I give it to my partner. And yeah, how there can be a miscommunication, a mismatch, but also how we can, understand like, this is how Sebastian is receiving love, and this is his love language. So I need to work on myself or do something that he receives better love, more love than I have given until now, because it doesn't make much sense to give all my love to him when he's not able to receive it, right?
Yeah, that's the concept in a nutshell, as you just said. It's each person has a different way of receiving love. And so if each person has a different way, then how could we know exactly how to give love to them? Because it would be different, and apparently it also changes. So that makes it more important to be aware and to talk to your partner about what you actually need. So that quiz is really helpful for that. And yeah, we want to talk about those 5 love languages.
Yeah, which
to
is
explain them.
Yeah. So the first one is words of affirmation. It's like, I really appreciate that you have done this or that, and I loved how you have reacted in this situation. Or, oh yeah, thank you for this idea. That's a great idea. Thank you for that. The next one would be acts of service. It's like doing chores, cooking, fixing anything in the house.
So the next one, is gifts. And gifts could look like a small present, something sweet to eat, a snack, but also a letter of
little love letter or
little love
notes,
letter. Yeah.
Leaving around the house. We did that at the beginning, actually.
We did, yeah. That was nice. We should start that again. Although it's not our love language at all.
Right.
So that's gifts. Then there is, of course, quality time. And quality time is any uninterrupted time where both of you agreed to go outside on a walk, on a hike, play games, watch a movie, anything where both of your attention is on one thing and you feel like you're experiencing it together and you feel like your partner is involved in that thing as much as you are, right?
Yeah.
So you create a shared experience, which could be in a restaurant as well.
Yeah, definitely. Also going to the cinema or watching a movie together, which is maybe then you're doing doing it together, right?
Exactly.
Right.
And then you can talk about it
afterwards. It's like, oh yeah, that movie was so great. It's like, oh no, it sucked.
Yeah.
Have a great discussion.
And then we have touch, physical touch. And physical touch would be cuddling, touching, only
holding
like,
hands, which means like
yeah,
non-sexual touch. Physical touch means non-sexual touch.
right. So it could also mean sitting on the sofa together and not sitting separate, but like kind of having the
Being
leg.
intertwined and nut.
Yeah.
having hand nut or leg nut.
Yeah.
Is it called nut? Like
And not.
Not.
And not.
Not.
you're going nuts. Okay. So that's words of affirmation, acts of kindness, or no, acts of service, not acts of kind. Also maybe kind. Small gifts.
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 It can be also big gifts though.
Can be gifts, big gifts, yeah. Quality time
And physical touch.
and physical touch.
Yeah.
So 5 years ago, my first love language was physical touch. And physical touch was very important to me, as you know.
Still is though.
It still is, yeah. But yeah, non-sexual, of course. I just love when I come back home and you give me a big hug. And then afterwards we could like sit on the sofa, play a game or watch something. And you would look for the closeness. Even though you don't need it in that moment, you know that I need it and that I appreciate that. So that was in the very beginning quite clear that that was my first love language. So my second love language was words of affirmation. It's hard for me now, 5 years later, to really remember why that was. I mean, everyone likes to, or most people like to
be appreciated,
be
right?
appreciated. Yeah. But do you remember why?
I
that
have
was my
a
second
theory
one?
though. And I think also like a lot of needs were met. And so kind of we develop, we grow, right? And so I felt like that you received, like before our blessing, there was not much physical touch, right? For you.
Sure.
So that was like, oh, there's something new, you know? It's like I never knew that this need was actually there. And then you became like a little monkey.
Sure.
A really cute one. But you were like really like something that has been maybe neglected or something that
Neglected monkey.
yeah, but
Okay.
I didn't mean it this way. I mean, as I know your family, there are you have a really nice family, but you were not really touchy, right?
No one is touching my family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is something in my family, we were more touchy. And so I did kind of like fulfill this need. And like this need was met. And so for you, this need wasn't met. So it was so, oh my gosh, I have now and subject partner I can cling on. But I really enjoyed it. And I felt like it was actually after half a year that it became actually more this physical touch than before. Before it was like more sex that you felt like you wanted to, how to say, meet this need through sex, through sexual intimacy, to sexual touch. But then there was a time where I wasn't able to have sex for a few weeks or so, and where we started actually cuddling, where actually then it kind of this need exploded somehow. Right?
It got uncovered.
Yeah, or uncovered. Yeah, I think that was a better word. And so the sexual need became actually less, like, or it became more intimate actually in a way. I felt like because before the sex was kind of really trying to
cover more of my needs through sex, but now that the needs were met in other ways, sex was
still important, but it satisfied your need for physical intimacy, and sexual intimacy and physical intimacy is very close, right?
Yeah.
So that was really interesting. And then I think also with the words of affirmation is that you can please correct me if I'm wrong. It's
Go
just
ahead.
like but because you dealing with SSA and you as a man being with me as a woman, created maybe some insecurity, and with the words of affirmation it created more security. It's like, oh, you didn't just see it or feel it, but you also heard it,
Mm.
that, oh, I'm appreciated as you are.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Right. So this is what I kind of came to my mind when you was like, okay, why was
It
it words of
was,
affirmation so important for you?
well, I received words of affirmation as well in my family back then. I remember that.
It's like when we do something for each other, it's kind of taken for granted. And usually there's sometimes some, words of criticism more than appreciation. So
Mm.
for me, it was actually at the beginning really weird to be around your family and they were appreciating and saying, "Oh yeah, that was really good idea. Thank you." I was like, what? Why would you say that? That's weird.
Why would you say that?
I mean, it's kind of course.
Yeah.
It's like I felt like, of course, why would you need to say that? I've learned actually in your family that yes, it is nice to be appreciated
Mm.
and to say that into the words as well, because there's so often more criticism than actually appreciation.
Okay, so it sounds like I was used to that from my family. And then being in a new situation, in a relationship with you, then it was more needed even than being in my normal environment. And you had to get used to that demand of me wanting affirmation since it
Mhm.
wasn't so common in your family. Mhm.
Yeah, it was nice actually to learn that, to appreciate and take things not for granted. I actually noticed that I put more effort actually in doing that, because I noticed, like, now after 5 years, that I tend to criticize very quickly, or
But
you
only after 5 years, or
no, also before. But where I noticed, oh, I'm actually becoming a little bit like my mom in the way that,
which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
yeah, of course. But with this specific thing is like that you have ideas or suggestions or you do something and I immediately, it's not a good idea.
Yeah. So your heart, of
No.
course, is to make it better for everyone. So
Mhm.
you want to
Thank you.
constructive criticism.
Yeah, which is not always very constructive. So,
Yeah.
but when you noticed that and told me about it, I was like, oh, yeah, actually, I need to be more aware on how I react in that way.
Trust more, maybe as well.
Yeah, trusting the process. Maybe it's like, okay, if it's not working out, it's fine too.
What? Okay. Let's
So
move on.
what are your love languages now? Which we
Mhm.
did quiz just before the podcast.
Physical touch, words of affirmation, quality time. That was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Now it's, I have to check.
Quality time.
Okay. Now it's quality time, then physical touch, and then words of affirmation. So the three things are still up there, but the way they have priority
Hmm.
had changed. Okay, so quality time is now for me more important than physical touch,
Hmm.
because it seems like physical touch as need has been satiated in some way and satisfied, and now it's more spending quality time, having shared memories, and yeah, getting to know each other in different ways by having shared experiences.
I do notice that we like to sometimes sit together and then remembering on a specific walk we had or adventure we'd had, because that is something you're always looking for when we go for a walk or a little hike or
Mhm.
something like that. It's like we need a little adventure.
Always, yeah.
And if it's just looking for some bugs or oh, look this bug here, oh, it looks so cool, it looks like a strawberry.
If there's a stream and there's a tree that fell over that stream and you could balance over that
Yeah,
tree, we always try that.
you do, I don't.
You sometimes do as well. It only counts as adventure if we both did it. Yeah. Otherwise, I would just move on and find the next one. Yeah.
Right. So I definitely see that for you. That is really important for you to have always this little adventures, and then we can think back on them,
Mhm.
and then it's like, oh yeah, remember? Oh, it was so cool.
Yeah. Or if there's any animal we find, that's
Mhm.
already
That's true. Like the woodpeckers or any kind of birds, bugs,
frogs.
or especially fishes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's my new love language constellation. What about you? What was your love language, your top 3 love languages 5 years ago when we met?
Physical touch, definitely.
Was on first place?
That was really on first place,
Okay.
physical touch. I think it was next one was quality time, and then the third one was words of affirmation, I think. I'm not how I know the first two one definitely, which
Mm.
is physical touch and then quality time. That was really high. I remember like my parents were like, and my sister as well, like in our matching process, we were already really touchy. And they were like, Dari, you cannot do that. That's too much. And I was
And
like,
for the record, we don't recommend doing that.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
No,
for us.
no kissing and nothing.
No, no, no.
But
Just like really being holding hands and sitting very close to each other. Um, like no hugging or stuff like that. But
yeah,
so yeah, but we definitely noticed that it is. We were like really longing for this physical touch.
yeah. We do, looking back, really understand that that can be a risky path to
Oh,
take.
definitely. Yeah.
So I
We
think
didn't
we
spend much time before we actually were blessed. So in this case,
was just like 2 visits, kinda.
we had, yeah, basically 2 visits, yeah. No,
Mhm.
I mean 3 in total, like
Yeah.
with the 2 matchings, like one with my parents, one with your parents, and then
Mhm.
you visited one time in summer, and then we got blessed.
Yeah.
It was like 7 months until, from starting the matching until to the blessing.
Right.
And yeah, but it was it was not smart from our side to be that touchy. So it's definitely not recommended, and I do understand my parents' way and also my sister why they were saying that um, we shouldn't be so touchy,
Mhm.
because it is a very thin line then. So after blessing, when we came actually moved together at the beginning, I remember that we had a conversation. It was our first date as a blessed couple, and it was in the Japanese fusion kitchen restaurant Yuzumuk,
Okay.
and we had both ramen.
Yeah.
And then you were kind of saying, Daria, I really love you, but for me, like this physical thing is a pretty still too
Oh,
much.
yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
And I was like, oh gosh, I'm too much. But I mean, I guess, yeah, because I did have experience before being in a relationship.
Mhm.
And for you being the first time in a relationship and also, you know, dealing with SSA and then, but still like having feelings or developing feelings for me, that was a bit much for you.
Mm.
I get that though.
I'm not sure if SSA had to do anything with my tolerance of
Physical touch.
physical touch or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It was just like coming used to being with a woman.
Like, just being used to just sleeping with someone else in your bed. That's a big difference from before.
Yeah. Right. Because
Yeah,
you were single for such a long time.
like forever.
We got blessed when you were 29.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So
Mm,
that was at the
touch.
beginning. And then now I was actually really surprised about that and how that changed that much. Like
Okay.
my love language. So first one is act of service.
That's now your
This
priority?
is my highest with 30%.
Mm.
My second one is quality time. And a third one is physical touch. So for me, when you do something for me, like I'm working in the morning, already I'm on the laptop or computer, and do stuff, and then I ask you, or even not needing to ask, and you just come with the breakfast,
Mm.
with some scrambled eggs and then tomatoes and stuff, and like it's really nicely put together. It's like that's so amazing. Or yeah, when I don't have to deal with that, or when we do chores in the house together at the
Mhm.
same time, and then or you just do it, and I come into the kitchen, it's just clean. I was like, oh my
What
gosh,
happened?
what happened? It's like, oh my gosh, everything is done. I don't have to do it anymore. Thank you. This is where I really feel loved.
Mm.
And of course, definitely also the second one with the quality time. I really love the adventures we are always trying to go on, even though it's like just the same path we always go, but we always look for something that is differently or new, and to share that memory with you together, creating these memories together. That is something I really appreciate.
Wait, so we have the acts of service, but now you're talking about quality
Yeah.
time. Mhm.
Yeah.
So when it comes to quality time, do you feel you get that need met through my need for quality time? Like, do I ask you enough for quality time, or you don't need me to ask? You don't need to ask me anymore because I always ask you for quality time. Like,
Okay. I
yeah,
get what you mean. I guess it depends because sometimes there are seasons that are more busy for both of us. And then I noticed, oh, we actually didn't have enough time to spend together. And then we might just both spend time on our computers or on the phone or, doing something completely differently, and actually not going for a walk or not going to the gym together, or, just sitting together. Yesterday, we were just sitting on the couch and then talking a little bit about the day. I mean, and at the end, it ended up kind of talking about work.
yeah. It's
But
so interesting.
because we really, I noticed that we try to not always talk about work.
Sure.
But on the other side, it's also sometimes really funny to talk about it, or, I having new ideas, or, it's also to digest
Mm.
the day, and maybe getting some new and different insights from the other person
So
on a topic.
the wrong question to ask if you don't want to talk about work is,
How was your day?
how was your day? What did you do after a work day? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's better to make plans what we could do on a free time,
Yeah, that's better.
or
Talk about the weekend, what we could do
oh,
in the
yeah,
future.
yeah,
Yeah.
or maybe no, yeah, tomorrow. Tomorrow you're not gonna go for work,
No,
so
let's talk about it after the podcast.
yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So your third,
And my third is now physical touch, and I think because you
which
already,
was your first before.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I think it's really because you are like physical touch was for you so big, and I mean it's fluctuating. It's not always that I need only only as acts of service or quality time. I notice depending on the day, on how I'm doing, that I'm also sometimes really physically needy,
Mhm.
and you really enjoy that.
Yeah.
And he's like, "But it's so great, and you're so cute."
I'm like, finally.
And so there are times where I am the monkey, and then you are the tree, and then I'm kind of climbing on top of you.
Yeah.
But there are also times when I kind of a little bit exhausted, and you come to me, and then you want to cuddle, and I was like, I'm kind of, no, sorry, I cannot. This is go away. I
Yeah.
cannot deal with that. You can have my hand or you can have my foot, but at least, my upper body is not available.
Yeah.
Um,
It's interesting. In that moment, of course, I have that need, and you tell me clearly it's not
it's out of order.
out of order, it's not available. But it gives me a very clear sign of where you're at with your energy levels and stress and everything. So then in an ideal world, and if I would, you know, have a good day and be in a good state of mind, I would ask you, so what do you need? You seem stressed. and then you would tell me, what would you tell me? Usually it's
Could you
like,
clean the kitchen?
yeah, exactly, act of service. Yeah, of course. But yeah, because you have many things on your mind that you still want or have to do in that day.
Mm.
And if one of those or two of those things get, taken over by me and I can take care of it, then of course you have more capacity to just chill out.
But I did notice that, sometimes when I'm stressed out, I actually tend to retrieve now,
Hmm. Into
to
the phone.
physically retrieve
Yeah.
also. And that sometimes I don't want any kind of physical touch because
Mm.
it feels like when we touch, then I'm exploding.
Hmm.
But I noticed that sometimes it actually helps to calm down again. And maybe it's not so much in my idea of what I think I want, but then you offer. And then sometimes I retrieve, but that also sometimes I move forward and take your hug, where I was like, oh, actually, that's really nice right now. Kind of letting go of that. And I noticed also, that is something I was really surprised. And I told Andrew about it. And he was like, that's pretty unusual. Is that one day where everything was just not going my way. And I was so mad. It was where all the technical stuff on the laptop didn't
Hmm.
work out. And I got so frustrated. Like basically everything I touched that day, it didn't work out. And I put so much energy and work and time into that, and it didn't work out. And I got so mad. And I didn't know how to deal with that. And then I was like, Basti, can we have sex? Because I feel like maybe we can have just one thing in the day when it works out. And it was so good. I did
It
not expect
was.
that. I would have never thought that was like, being so mad and having that thing, it would be so good. Like having an or extraordinary good orgasm. And I was like, yes, at least one thing that worked out today.
Did it turn out to be a better day afterwards, or did it still?
Not really, but but like it's kind of when I think back on the day, it's like it sucked,
Yeah.
but it had a happy ending, like literally.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting that you know, coming to the understanding, sometimes when things just don't work, let's have sex, have just this sexual intimacy and heat, that I have had already from the anger, but directed into something nice and recreational in the sense of, recreational and recreating our connection with each other. And that was nice. But
Hmm.
I think it was also that I was able to do it because I wasn't mad at you. Because I
Sure.
think if I would have been mad at you, I'm not sure if I would have wanted that. So,
Of course not.
so that was interesting.
I was just thinking of the difference between, when we go back to the topic of healthy touch, of receiving, no, of giving the touch to someone else. Like if I'm in need, you're super stressed, then of course you can't handle me needing more energy from you. But if you need it, then, but you don't know you need it, but you need it, then if I offer that healthy touch, you might gain some of my energy or calmness.
Right.
So it looks similar from the outside, but the idea is different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And also I think the energy is different
The energy is different.
because when you're this, I say the little bestie, when your inner child comes out and it's like, you don't want to touch
The little eight, what did you say? The little monkey
me.
comes out.
The little bestie monkey comes out.
Yeah.
And it's like cute, but it's not where I feel like, oh, I can let myself fall,
Oh yeah, sure.
and
Mhm.
mentally and emotionally. And then when you're kind of the adult bestie and giving this love it's very different than the little monkey, right? So
Right.
yeah.
Because the little monkey is kind of a child, which means that you're kind of the adult, which means you are nurturing and giving.
Yeah.
So that's just doesn't seem right for you then to start cuddling because, of course,
Yeah.
I'm not there to give anything.
Right.
Get it? Yeah.
But I do see it differently when we both are in this kind of childlike minded where we kind of play with each other. Then we also give each other, but again, it's different than both of the other scenarios.
Yeah.
So I think, for example, where this need of act of service comes from
Hmm.
is that I moved out when I was 16 from home. I mean, I moved back for a little bit, but I was already kind of an adult, young adult. And I think act of service is something where we came out of a situation where I like to be in control, but being in control means also being stressed and kind of I have to do this and I have to do that and kind of always having this mental load. And when someone else swoops in and takes over that mental load, this is where I actually don't have to do it by myself. Because I think my messaging is kind of, oh, I need to do things by myself. I need to do everything myself, because then it's done, first of all, good, proper, and it's in the way that I wanted to have it done. But now, after 5 years, I see definitely that you understand my mind much better and also know how to do it better. And I also see that also actually in workshops or other, like working in high noon with the staff and so on. And when they take over certain things, then I'm so positively surprised on how well I received that, and I'm able also to ask better for help. Before I was like, oh, I don't want to ask for help because I don't want to seem as needy, or I don't want to seem as I can deal it by myself, or helpless, but I want to seem strong and independent. And um, yeah, but actually letting other people come and help me is I understand better now. It's also a strength, that because if I need to do everything myself,
Mm.
then I actually can not focus on other things that are also important.
Thank you, darling, for sharing. So when we are longer in our relationships, we tend to forget. I know for us that was the case. We tend to forget the first and second and third important love languages of our partner. And I think it's important to remind each other of what is important to us. And for me, it is quality time that is uninterrupted, for example. When I see that you're on your phone, then I want to remind you that we're talking about something that is important to me, and that's a way you can give me or show me love. So it's more important than like a regular activity, right? Or a regular thing. So I will be more sensitive if that need isn't met in the correct way. I will take it more personal. So I would remind you that, Daria, this is quality time, and I need quality time to be uninterrupted as much as possible. And so that's oftentimes when you say, I'm sorry, and you put your phone away because you got reminded, oh, yeah, this is time that is important to me. Mm.
Yeah. And I think it's also like how we communicate that with each other.
Mhm.
Because, like, if you would, you know, with a pretty strong voice, like, Daria, wait, do you have get your phone out? That is not how, like, it's like, oh, I'm sorry. I get that. That's, as usually I would probably not react like, what the heck? You don't have to, you can say that in a different way, right?
Yeah.
So on how to remind each other, and then of course to give each other grace for, sometimes forgetting and not to take it personally. And as I said already, giving grace to, okay, I know that I also do mistakes, and I sometimes hurt you with certain things, but the same is also the other way around.
Yeah.
And that it's a growing process, right? To find a better way to meet each other needs and to love each other in a way that we also receive it, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, actually, I have one question. What is your main way on how you give love? Because your love language is like how you receive love is the quality time and physical touch, words of affirmation. But is it also the same love language as you give?
I think it's the most easiest for me to give love the way I receive love. If I give you a big hug, then my need is also met in that same moment, right? So I would definitely give you a kiss here and there and a pat on the back, like some sort of non sexual touch. And I would think, yeah, you might feel loved through that, although maybe it's not the primary way. For me, it's the most natural because I also at the same time feel good about it. Um, yeah. Does that answer your question?
Sure.
Yeah.
Because I guess it's for everyone a bit different. Because I do see, for example, with my parents,
Hmm.
my dad is not so much of getting gifts at all. Like my mom buys him stuff and so on. He was like, okay, he takes it, but not much of a deal. But he loves to give gifts.
Mm.
This is where he puts all his energy and artistic being into it.
Yeah.
And my mom,
He's a big romantic, your
oh yeah,
dad.
he's very romantic. And then my mom is like, she's more kind of same as me with act of service. Like
Mm.
she appreciates so much when he does, do the woodworking, like how to say, axing the wood,
Chops the firewood.
chops the
Hmm.
firewood, or does the lawn, or does some work around the house or in the house. So this is something she really appreciates. So the way he gives, and how she receives is like kind of where it's like when my dad told me one time, was it maybe with you together, and how he would love to create a little box with sand in it and
Hmm.
then paint it and like having a little pearl there, like a pearl ring or something with pearls. That's where I was like, "Oh, it's okay. It's not so important." I was like, Mom, you have to appreciate that.
Do you know the love languages of your parents?
I mean, not as we do it, but I know definitely also physical touch is a love language for my dad. But not for my mom at all.
Yeah.
Again, so I don't know exact the words, like, how I know them. I think for my mom, it's, like, acts of service and words of affirmation, and for my dad is physical touch and
Presents.
no,
Oh,
what
no.
I said, like,
Yeah, making presents.
making presents is
Yeah.
for him. Yeah. So, also in the past for me, actually, the gifts was always anytime I did this kind of quiz was always the lowest, like, about 3 or 5%.
Yeah.
But in the past, I love to give gifts, like
Mhm.
really putting thought into the gift. I guess it
Mhm.
was kind of something that I got from my dad.
But then isn't it interesting you also would then have to know who gets that gift that they can appreciate it.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
of course,
the
definitely.
same scenario happens with like with your parents. Your dad puts in so much effort and then the reward isn't that big because your mom doesn't really appreciate it.
Right. Yeah.
So you need to know who you give the gift that they have a big appreciation for
Yeah.
gifts.
So I would really put a lot of thought into, okay, what is the person really likes? What I think would they really appreciate? Not just like, I want to give them something so that I feel good about it, but they will feel good about it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I really more appreciate like having quality time. And then I think this is also what I becoming better is the words of affirmation, definitely physical touch, definitely as well, but also quality touch, just quality time. That's
Mm.
where I really give love.
I'm happy about that because I also love quality time. So we can love each other in that way.
So how do you want to grow in you loving me or loving people around you, even though it might be difficult? Like act of serving.
I think it seems like some love languages are easier to do than others.
Hmm.
So acts of service are obviously connected to some sort of work, right? And by you showing me more appreciation for that work, I feel it's easier to do. If you would if it still is your first love language, acts of service, but you are a bit quiet about the appreciation for it, it's more difficult for me to then do it and feel it has any value. Yeah.
Right. Do you feel like I do appreciate you enough when you do?
Mostly.
Like, could be some more.
Sometimes it's only the thank you that comes, which is also good. So I know you noticed. But then sometimes sometimes you're also really like happy. And then I'm like, okay, I'm doing the right thing.
Like
Yeah.
when I'm super excited, it's like, oh my God, it looks
Yeah,
so
that makes me super happy. And I'm like, that really made you so happy? Okay.
great.
Yeah. So that's a reminder of I'm doing the right thing and I should be doing that more often if I want to make you happy.
Listen,
Hmm.
how do you feel like I could grow in my loving you in a better way?
I think I just talked about how you could grow, which is when you tell me more clearly what you appreciate, then I can do that more. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. But what I mean is like, that this is where you do something for me, or like, where you do act of service and where I show you better on how much I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So my question now is, because your first love language is quality time and physical touch,
Could you?
what can I do better?
Oh,
Or
that's easy. Yeah. It would be really cool for, let's say, weekly suggestions of what we could do together on the weekend, for example, or on our free days. Like put emphasis on that day will be outside and we'll do this and that. And then maybe in the evening we could cuddle on the sofa and watch something. That you do that sometimes, but yeah, you would cover so much of my needs in that moment.
so what I'm hearing is that I would put more effort, and more often this effort, into planning a day where we could do something together and
Hmm.
having this quality time.
Yeah.
And then in the evening that we have this cuddle time and maybe watching a movie, or, having some physical touch as well.
Yeah. A suggestion would be taking the fishing rods, fishing at the lake, small hike around it, and then in the evening come back and have a relaxed evening.
Or just looking for a little hiking trail.
Yeah. Or that too. But then
Like
there's
relax.
no fishing, so that's worse.
We did just, what was it, 2 weeks ago? We had a really nice walk in the morning
Mhm.
in Bartels, where we never been before,
Oh,
and
that
it
was
was
nice.
so nice. It was
Mm.
so beautiful. It was still really cold, but yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
Like something like that.
Stuff like that.
But you would love to have some water or fishes around there.
That would have been nice.
Yeah. Sometimes it's okay.
Yeah.
Not always.
Mostly it is. Okay, shall we wrap it up?
You don't have to tell me.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, does anything else come to mind?
That's it.
Yeah. Great. Okay. So we want to really encourage you to take the test, which is in the description below, and figuring out on actually, yeah, what is my love language? And they have also some other packages you can buy then, but I think just like very simple, knowing the love language is really helpful, and how sometimes it's so different. And then how this is where I feel like we can really love each other by the extra mile on meeting your need, what you're either, as we just said, creating a little hiker trail with an possible fishing trip as well, or searching you more and giving you hugs and when you don't expect them. And yeah, appreciating when you do something that I really appreciate. So yeah, it's like,
I think it's even smart to put the main 2 or 3 love languages on the fridge.
yeah, that's actually good.
Yeah. And
If
then,
it, especially if things are so busy, right? And then that's actually a good idea. Thank
right?
you. So yeah, we want to invite you to do this quiz and figuring out what is the way you receive love, but also give your love to your partner. Because, it can be sometimes a mismatch. And then, you give your love and love and love, and the other person doesn't receive it. Like, why the heck is that? Why they don't get it? And
Yeah.
yeah, finding one little thing that can be changed this week, or, add on a little bit, and then doing that for this week and loving each other more.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Yeah. I'm gonna check out what we can do for the weekend. And you
Great.
can go
Wash
cleaning the room.
dishes. Yeah.
Actually, the kitchen looks pretty bad right now, so I would really appreciate it.
You guys have to go.
All right. Take care and see you until next time. Bye.
Bye.